Well, I want to do one of my semi-annual videos, or maybe I would say quarterly, monthly videos, talking about how inaccurate a portrayal of these great manifesting concepts, law of assumption, law of attraction concepts, how inaccurate a portrayal you get of these concepts if you are reading social media posts and comments about them, whether it be on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, or here, YouTube. For those of you who don't know, and a lot of you don't know, I was briefly pulled in by Neville Goddess and Cecilia to be a moderator of the Neville subreddit a couple years ago. And it was really interesting experiencing that scene. And it opened my eyes to the degree of spiritual bypassing in the social media Neville community, law of assumption community, and the law of attraction community at large. Obviously, spiritual bypassing and having a delusional take on spiritual concepts is nothing new. It is not exclusive to the LOA space whatsoever. Yet it is a real problem on social media, like YouTube. And, when I started doing these videos a couple years ago, I had a sense of what it was, but I didn't realize the extent of the madness, basically, that is the Neville community, and I would say the law of attraction community at large, but man, the Neville community particularly is just atrocious. And I say that as like a really open-minded, genteel dude when it comes to this stuff. Very open, very much like just, see what works for you. It's great to throw different ideas out there. We can all have differing opinions and respect each other's, different opinions. But that kind of attitude, which I had and still have in large part, it's almost frowned upon in this community. Sanity's thrown out the window a lot of times and replaced by just groupthink and dogmatism, particularly surrounding law of assumption concepts. And the problem is that very few people in the community have truly unique things to say. One of the first videos I did when I, started posting videos about this law of assumption stuff was a few years ago. I think it was called like Regurgitated Neville or something along those lines. I'll put a link above to the video. It was actually before I knew Maggie. I just discovered Maggie's videos, and I made a video talking about how her videos, Joseph Rodriguez, and Sammy Ingram's videos were, they were some of the few that I had seen on YouTube just browsing, that were unique, where like these people clearly had like unique takes on the information, and it wasn't just like the same old regurgitated crap, like really watered down Neville advice. But then, as time passed and I got involved with making videos, because what I noticed is that even though the community was really bizarre, YouTube was and still is, in my opinion, where it's at in terms of sharing these ideas. As I became more involved making YouTube videos and really was inspired, initially I was inspired, when I started my podcast by Joseph Rodriguez, back in like 2021, I was like, oh, it's so cool that he talks about these different teachers, on social media. That's what inspired me to do my podcast. But it was Maggie, seeing her car videos, in 2022, and then getting to know her, that made me realize, wow, like there is huge potential here on YouTube. And I didn't really take it that seriously. At first I knew I was making really good content, but I didn't really, take it that seriously. And then as time has gone on, I realized that just a lot more people were watching videos than, like, for instance, listening to my podcast. And so I was like, man, what do I want to do with my channel here? And there wasn't like a light bulb moment. There still has not been a light bulb moment, quite frankly. But I've realized more and more over the last, I would say, like, 2 years or so, what this channel is in terms of its uniqueness. And, it's in the about section of the YouTube channel, which is like, this channel discusses spiritual bypassing in the spiritual space, and specifically the law of assumption and law of attraction space. And it is for people who want to stop spiritually bypassing as much when it comes to applying these ideas and integrating these ideas in their life. And that ties right into the coaching and counseling I do with people and the books I've written about this stuff. That's what makes this channel unique. And this is all kind of a long-winded way of saying that I know that most people watching these videos are not going to understand what I'm getting at. Because what I'm talking about is too, quote unquote, advanced. In my opinion, it's not. But it's too advanced compared to 90% plus of the content out there when it comes to these law of assumption, law of attraction ideas. The percentage is probably significantly higher than that, probably 95, 98%, something like that. People don't, the masses do not get what I'm talking about. And again, it's not that I'm some kind of genius or anything like that. It's just I'm very clear-eyed about these concepts, have been trying to integrate them into my own life, and have helped people integrate them into their lives for a long time. And I was a spiritual dude well before I ever got into the law of assumption and law of attraction. So I've got a thorough background in this stuff, and we don't play around on this channel, which is ironic because, we have more of a fun time. I'm more playful, and doing wacky car videos compared to most content creators who are very stiff-minded. This is the law of assumption. Fuck all that. I don't play around. I'm delivering you content if you want to be open and honest with yourself, because it's not advanced. It's just about being open and honest with yourself. I'm delivering content that should be helpful for you, hopefully. I'm not saying every video is going to be helpful for you, but some of the stuff I share openly and honestly should help you if you're interested in this. But what I've seen more and more, and has been confirmed to me again and again and again and again, is most people are just not going to get it. And they're especially not going to get it when I'm not overly laudatory towards Neville or any of these teachers, and I say, don't trust anybody, trust yourself. Don't trust me, trust yourself. Really experience this stuff by testing it the way Neville always talked about. They don't like that. People don't like it in general. Some of you do. I know a lot of subscribers do. And that the small portion of people who watch this channel, many of you who are subscribers, but the small percentage of views of each video, the people who do get it, they get it. And they get it when I say, like, what we're talking about can be summed up right now in the present moment, right here. Like, we don't have to talk about this even intellectually. Like, we can bring it to the table right here. We can bring it to the car right here. This is it. This is it. This is the information right here, right at our fingertips. We don't have to wait for some special moment or read it in a book or get so enamored by theory that we lose the essence of it. The essence of it is right here. And the essence is what I'm trying to bring to each one of these car videos. And Maggie and I used to talk about it a lot. She eventually just turned off her comments because she couldn't deal with the fact that people were commenting and talking about stuff that was so irrelevant to the essence of what she was trying to convey. And I think I'm at that point too. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have comments on my channel. So if you made it this far, that is in part what this video is about. If you want me to keep comments on this channel, put a comment below explaining why, because I'm trying to think of reasons that I should leave comments on, and I really haven't thought of many good ones thus far. There's been so many lovely comments over the years, so many great commenters who have said thoughtful things, but unfortunately, the comments in general on my channel do not help people. They actually detract from the message in a similar way that when people watch YouTube videos about these various law of attraction, law of assumption concepts, it usually detracts from the message if the video is any good. The comments are the blind leading the blind. This is what happened on Reddit all the time, still does happen when people talk about Neville and these other great teachers. It's the blind leading the blind. It's watered down, regurgitated advice. And me, for perhaps all my problems and flaws, this ain't watered down. It ain't regurgitated. This is it right here. And you either dig it or you don't. And if you don't dig it, don't watch my channel, for gosh sake. But I'm really sick of just dealing with the comments energetically of so many people who don't understand what I'm getting at. Because I know what I'm getting at. I always have. And my videos are very consistent. If you watch my videos from 2.5 years ago, or listen to my podcast from a couple years ago, it's the same thing as I'm saying in this video. So yeah, if you want me to keep comments on this channel, feel free to provide some reasons why you think it would be helpful. But I'm leaning towards turning comments off for future videos. Yeah, if you have any questions or would like to reach me, I can be contacted at radicalcounselor.com. You can always email me. That's how I like to be reached and spoken to about this stuff, at info@radicalcounselor.com. And if you want to set up a free short consultation to see if I can help you with coaching, you can reach me over there. Until next time, be here now.